Right, is my video working? Sorry guys, this is my first time as well, and first time always has certain difficulties. So let me just check if this is working fine. Not too sure. Just give me some time, please. I'm trying to check if this is working. Not too sure. Just give me some time, please. Okay. Alright, I guess it's, I'm really new to this software called OBS, which I'm using for streaming, but not too sure if the voice is going through. You can hear but can't see the screen. Okay, so at least you can hear me. Right, so guys, welcome. We have Guppy, Spring, Mr. Rajiv, and a couple of more attendees right now. We will wait for just a minute more before I give an introduction of what this YouTube series of live sessions will be about, and within a short span we will then come down to speaking part of Celpip. But let me just get this thing sorted first. Okay. So I will just give you a little brief for the people who are already here. As some of you might have attended my Zoom sessions, I am making a transition and I'm trying to provide you a variety of content to prepare you for your Celpip examination in a better way. There's a lot of work which has been going in the background. We are partnering with almost set of 21 instructors, all different bases of Celpip instructors based in different countries, different geographies. The focus will be Dubai, India, and Canada, and also Hong Kong. So we will be having instructors from these four countries joining us, and the main idea is that video resolution. Okay, I really need to learn this in a better way, but okay, so coming back to the point, the YouTube sessions will be a bi-weekly session. The main idea for starting overview sessions is to ensure that we are able to reach a larger audience and we are able to help you bridge the gap that most of the Celpip test takers face. So again, coming to how the whole scenario would go, there are three major things of how this works. Number one is having YouTube bi-weekly live sessions. This would be held every, in a bi-weekly matter. So you have one today, and post the next 2 weeks there would be another session on some specific task of or an overview task of Celpip. Then we will also be beginning with $1 classes. These classes will be held each week the main idea for these classes again is to ensure that we are able to reduce the problem of affordability and ensure that test takers, irrespective of you know the financial constraints that they might be facing, they can have some means to support. The final method would also be private classes, where people can join us from for private sessions, one-to-one mentoring, group mentorings, and work on various tasks for Celpip. So I think we have around 6-7 people now, and so we will wait for maybe a minute more so that we can have more people coming in. I like a two-way communication, so YouTube Live is is very new, and I'm trying to see how this would really work. I'm using a software called OBS, and not being a very technical guy, this might be getting you a couple of issues where I'm sure I can learn and improve. So this is what life really is about, whether you give in an exam or you are living your life in a daily routine. Having certain means to learn something new always counts. So keep this in mind even when you're preparing for Celpip, because if you have a very open mind and you're preparing yourself, you feel confident, that is the right time for you to go and appear for the exam, instead of appearing again and again, instead of doing things which don't suit you. So that's the primary pro tip advice that I have. But coming to speaking part, all right, so Bhupi, thanks. Now that we can see and listen, great. So coming to speaking part of Celpip, this is not really I'm sure you guys have some little idea of how this goes. There are 8 main tasks in this, which starts with giving an advice. The number second is personal experience. The third part is describing a scene. Fourth includes making predictions. I will come to this part, in specific as well. The fifth part is comparing and persuading, which is the image-based comparing persuading that you go for. The sixth part is explaining a difficult situation. The seventh is expressing your opinions. And the last part are unusual situations. So usually what I have experienced while interacting with test takers, and in my personal experience as well, because speaking task does not have a very a huge amount of preparation time, so it can get tough. There are mostly 30 seconds of preparation and you have to speak for 60 seconds. This is not a lot of time to prepare, so making notes and writing down stuff, if it works, go ahead, please do it. If it doesn't, don't worry about it much, because the more natural way you will be speaking, and once you're clear of the overall idea for Celpip, how these tasks are evaluated, what are the parameters where the test takers will be evaluating you, will make a huge difference for you. So there's not a lot of things that you can do in speaking until you do practice, which includes all the different parts of Celpip, right? So by practice in speaking, coming in specific to speaking, there is a very good method which I want to discuss with all of you, and I am sure that this would help you in a larger aspect. So there would be a link below that I will be adding, where you can directly add your sound clips, so I can evaluate them for you and tell you a little where you can make improvements or alignments for Celpip speaking. So the pro tip that really comes very, very handy, and believe me here, if you try this, that you hear on this, giving me time on this live session, I would want you to take away one simple tip. For speaking, please record your voice either through your mobile phone or through your laptop or through any video device. Listen to it, okay? And while you listen, also use any transcription software to just transcribe it into words. So when you're listening, also read your transcript. Read what you spoke. When you do this on, let's say, 3 to 4 times, you will have an idea of your lacuna. You will understand where exactly was the part that you can bridge, while coming to Celpip. So it's a very handy advice. It comes. While I work with different as an ESL instructor, we work with various students from various backgrounds, and I have learned this that in speaking, this is one of the best advices that I can offer you. Please do it. It will benefit you, and I am sure it will prepare you in a much better way. So you can, either record on your mobile and upload it on SoundCloud for me to evaluate. But evaluation comes secondary. Primary is you actually listening to your own voice recording and reading your transcript alongside what you spoke. Read it. It will make a huge difference. Let's say some people have this habit of saying, there are many things that you will be able to realize once you do it. So that's one of the pro tip that I have. But coming to specifics, there is a file that I will be adding in the description link. You can download it later. Go through it. It will have a lot of different tips that you can use in specific of the 8 tasks. So again, a very important part in speaking is that complete your time and talk relevance. So when you're talking about a personal experience, even if you're making it up, ensure that personal experience is, can be heartfelt and imagined by the person, by the listener that you're speaking to. And this comes again with practice. You need to do this for at least a week before you appear for your Celpip exam. Most of the people lose their marks here. When it comes to questions like describing scenes, where there is an image that you need to describe, there is not a lot of problem in that, but the major of the issue does lie that, how do you start explaining the picture? So what I can give you as a tip in this would be begin with, let's say, one column of the picture. Begin with the left-hand side. Begin with describing the left-hand side, then keep on moving with the objects on the right and then below and in the end. So because the time is really restricted, you might have a lot of incidents to explain in the picture. Don't worry, folks. You don't need to explain everything. So just explain things which you're able to talk fluently. Your intonation is really hell-bent, and your clarity is maintained. So this would count for you a lot at the end. And when it comes to, let's say, making predictions, ensure that you are not describing. Most of the test takers go wrong here. When you are describing a scene using a picture, it's a different scenario. But when you're making predictions, Celpip and Paragon Testing Authority is looking for predictions, so they are looking for what can happen next. Just ensure you are logical there. You're not thinking really in an imaginative way. Just use the basic logic and make predictions. Let's say if there is a woman standing at a counter, explain that this woman will be billing from the counter, taking herself along, would keep the items that she's purchased from this grocery store in the car, then drive her car back to her home. So make logical predictions, okay? Do not think very wild while making predictions. Rest, you can use your creativity. Just feel free, feel relaxed when you're speaking. The tone and in the intonation and the speed in specific. And I say this for Asian speakers. I have noticed that when we are, let's say, appearing for an exam, or there is some situation where we get anxious. Maybe you can comment in the section if you also feel the same. But when this anxiety really hits your mind, you tend to either increase your speed or reduce it. And this is where you need to achieve the balance. When this thing is happening, ensure that you are neither too fast or neither too slow. So just ensure you are maintaining the speed which is necessary, and your tone, your voice is clear. So usually, again, this would not happen if you've practiced well, if you're feeling confident, if you're aware of what you're going for. This shouldn't be an issue at all. Sometimes it might be that no matter how much prepared you are, you would still have the test anxiety in your head. So just ensure you can fight it out. It can happen with practice. It happens with everybody. So don't worry about it. Just set your head in what you're going for. Know that a lot of people appear for Celpip, and they appear for it a lot of different times. So if you don't want to be that, you have to spend your time on practice. Record your voice again. Listen to your, read your transcript. Listen to your voice again. Send it to some people in your family, or your siblings, your parents. Ask them for opinions. Ask them, is what you're trying to tell in specific to these tasks, is that clear or not? If you need professional advice, just feel free. Record it on the SoundCloud link that I will be adding below, and I will evaluate it. So self-evaluation is as important as evaluation by any professional. Self-evaluate first. Identify your gaps, know where you are going wrong, and the rest will be history. You will be able to succeed in these kind of tasks in just a wee bit. So speaking, there is a task, as you already know from the overview picture. While it comes to, let's say, question where you have to compare and persuade, go for the choice which naturally comes to you, which you would actually choose. So do not think there is no right or wrong when it comes to making choices, while you are offered one. So make the one that you are more comfortable with. Let's say if there's a choice in making whether you like music over dance. If you like music, choose music. If you like dance, choose dance. It wouldn't matter for Celpip what you're choosing. Choose the one that you're comfortable with. That's the key. And usually you can comment in the section below and let me know if you face problems in specific to tasks 7 or 8, and I will try to cover them in the next sections, because in my experience of teaching ESL and specifically Celpip, I figured that test takers go wrong, and basically they're not able to align themselves in a better way for tasks 7 and 8. So if that is the case, let me know in this comment section. I will try to provide you either some material through videos or content that you can read and consume and become prepared. So and if there is any other task that you face problems, just let me know. There are a couple of live users who are now increasing on this, so feel free to let me know, so that I can prepare myself in the way that you want. Because the whole idea of doing all these live sessions, of doing all these Zoom sessions, again, is to ensure that we are able to bridge the gap between, a lot of people come to me and say, hey, there's not a lot of study material which is available, and they're correct in their opinion. So we are trying to fix this gap with Celpip, in Paragon directly. But as I said, I'm collaborating with 21 instructors from all across the globe. So I'm trying to see if we can actually come up with video lessons. We can come up with a platform where all this content could be uploaded, and on a demand base you can access it. Also, ebooks is another thing which is on my mind. From the next live sessions, we will also be joined by other instructors. So because I'm really new to live streaming, I could not avail, but we will be joining with a couple of instructors in the next bi-weekly session that we go on YouTube. They will also be giving their pro tips and Some are even much more experienced than me, 15 plus years of experience. So I'm sure those tips will count for you. When it comes to speaking, please understand there is practice, there is self-evaluation, there is professional evaluation, the three major things, and your peace. So breathe, feel relaxed, keep on learning, keep on trying. Before you appear for the exam, record your voice. Let's say if you've gone for the 42-hour practice that Paragon advises, your listening and reading gets simultaneously evaluated, but your speaking and writing does not. That does not mean that you cannot use that for a betterment. Let's say use those tasks, record it, on your phone, on your laptop, transcribe it, read it, share it with me or with any other instructors that we will be partnering, anyone that you know who is good in speaking, someone that you naturally like while they're speaking. So this would make a huge difference at the end for you. And why I say this is a huge difference is because I have seen that this matters a lot. Don't be anxious. So with this, I'm quite done with the maximum of the pro tips that I had in my mind. If there are any specific questions, please type in the comment section and I will be taking them. And I'm shifting the screen now to announce something really nice. So let me just check if I can upload. Okay. So there will also be winners, people for who are participating actively on the platform, and I am going to be announcing one winner which is amongst us right now, and there will be various goodies that people will be getting when they participate and they ensure that they are satisfied with what I'm trying to do, because the end purpose of whatever I'm doing is for you. If I'm able to add some value to what you're looking for, that is the end purpose. So keep it interactive. Let me know, because I also learn things on the go. I learn as you teach those things to me. And let me try if this is working. And there is a short video. I'll shut my voice. I hope it is audible to you. I'm sorry if it is not, but I will be uploading it in any way, so watch it later. guess I would be visible now. And so the main thing that really counts, so when you're doing these kind of practices in terms of vocabulary, there's a lot of vocabulary stuff, and many instructors say that it's not even necessary. But I pardon to not agree with them, because I have an entitled to my opinion, and I know that when you are preparing for a wide range of vocabulary, you are improving all your four tasks, especially writing, and speaking. So now I will be shifting down to your questions. Okay, so we'll begin with the first one first. Rosedeep, yes, I know it happens. The speed thing happens. Just relax, feel free. Make 2 minutes breathing exercise. Just ensure you're very calm, and you can control your voice speed, intonation, and everything which is necessary for speaking. So coming to question of Spring. For personal experiences, do you recommend we prepare different stories? I would say that you can prepare. There is going to be a man and a woman speaking when it comes to personal experiences. So it would usually be an experience of one man sharing it with one woman, or woman sharing it with a man. This is what usually happens in the personal experience task for speaking. And yes, you can prepare. You can use there are the 42. If you're using the official Celpip material, you will have access to stories that which are Paragon advice test takers go for. So either you can use them. If you do not have access to them, you can comment, you can drop me an email, you can message on the WhatsApp group. Either me or some community member would come out for your help. We will help you have some broad understanding of what kind of experiences you should go for, because this is very varied, Spring. So just ensure you're preparing for personal experiences only, and I can, whatever way I can, I will try to help you out. So you're saying that it's hard to read the question and come up. Yes, true, absolutely. So it's really hard when you have just 30 seconds of preparation time, and it's pretty understandable as well, right? Because 30 seconds is not a lot of time, so just ensure that whatever you are speaking is as real. So if you've had, let's say, and if you're talking about, let's say, I'll talk about experience of live streaming. This is a first time personal experience for me to live stream something. If I would have never had this experience, I'm sure I could not have been able to describe in the way that I can describe it after today. So just keep this in mind, Spring. If you are explaining a personal experience, try to do that. If it is really a real personal experience, that would keep it very natural, and that would ensure that so Celpip is about how naturally you go. This is not judging your academic English or how high vocab words that you use. That's not the main aim. The main aim is how naturally you can converse in day-to-day situations. So yes, there would be some practice required. As I said, record, transcribe it to a text, read your text, listen to your voice, do self-evaluation. Where you need professional help, reach out. So the next question, Rosedeep, in the unusual situation, sometimes I don't come to know the name of the thing. Yes, this can happen. Exact name is not really easy to find out, because it might not be in your consciousness at all. It might be something that you see totally new. And that's the whole point, Rosedeep, of this task. It is an unusual situation that you need to describe. So number one tip for you on this would be that don't worry that you're not able to take the exact name, even if you're taking some names. So let's say if there are 3 sweaters, and there are different kinds of patterns on the sweaters, and you don't know if it is known as a diamond shape or if this is known as a tetrahedron or octahedron. You don't need to worry on that. Just ensure you're describing what you know in a natural way. Practice it. If you go through, let's say, the 14 tests that Paragon has, you will be knowing 14, 15 different ideas. I will be coming up with YouTube videos on this specific task, because I know 7, 8 is tough. So yes, with practice you will come to know. For what you don't come to know, just move in around that. feel confident, and go for it. Don't worry that you are not able to take the exact name. Celpip will not deduct your marks there. Okay, so Mr. Rajiv, hi. And can you explain compare and persuasion part? Yes, sure. So how to approach this, Rajiv, is that comparing and persuading, you get a lot of time to choose, number one, for this task. So I was preparing before this live session and going it for myself how I feel. So when you are comparing, you shown two different images that you can choose, and while you have to make a decision, if you don't, the computer automatically will make a decision. So my advice, number one, how to approach this is make a choice when you have the comparison of both the tasks available on your monitor. Choose the one that you are attracted to naturally. Once you choose that, you will be redirected to the next screen where there would be another picture that you need to go ahead and make a choice and compare. So there would be text available. How to approach this, Rajiv? Do not try to use the same text which is mentioned below the picture. Either use descriptive words of what it is. So either you can just change the vocab there. Either you can paraphrase it and tell it in a way that is not mentioned, not written. That would help you out, because if you are using the same words, Celpip does deduct, just sees that you're not using anything natural there, you're just copying stuff. So don't do that. Approaching it is very simple. I believe it's one of the very simplest of the tasks that Celpip speaking has involved. So just compare, choose the one which is natural, to reiterate it for you again. And once you've chosen it, describe it. Describe it in the way that is comfortable. Do not use the words from the text. So that'll be the the tips here. Okay, Bhupi, thanks. It's audible, great. Spring, what types of natural experiences are usually asked? So Spring, if you want, if you're on the WhatsApp group, I'll share a couple of screenshots with you. I will also be pasting down the link of WhatsApp group below for people who are new and who are not connected on the WhatsApp group. I will share a couple of snippets, a couple of screenshots of the personal experiences. So I hope it would help you. Okay, moving forward. Asfan, yes, please explain tasks 7 and 8 and give guidance. Yes, Asfan, I know this is one of the difficult tasks in speaking. I believe I will be making a video specific to tasks 7 and 8, but the next week's session. So as I said, YouTube will go on a bi-weekly base for everybody again. For those who joined in late as well, we will have 3 means to communicate and prepare for our Celpip exam. Number 1 would be these free YouTube live overview sessions. They will be lasting for around 40 to 45 minutes. Bi-weekly, you can come up, ask your questions. I will be getting instructors and authority people on the next of the live sessions once I know how to handle it well. The number 2 would be $1 classes, Aswan. So if you are interested in task 7 or 8, I will go with what majority is choosing, either task 7 or 8 in speaking, and make a $1 class available for all of you in the next week. So just tune in. It is really affordable. The point would be to help you out. I'm trying to think of whatever ways that I can innovate and help you out in the larger aspect for preparing for Celpip. So there would be a session on Zoom, Asfan, on this. Plus, I will try to create some videos around it as well. I also have limited bandwidth, and I'll be starting a new vocabulary session as well. So, maybe sentence types. I don't know. I'm thinking on what would be more concrete and helpful for you. Keep on commenting. Keep on letting me know your opinions and views, because that is how I learn. Okay, Rosedeep, I'm glad that you and thank you and congratulations again. So it's. Participation always counts. It gives me a boost, but what I really like is helping people, and if I'm able to do that, it just gives me a smile. I love it. Okay, Rajiv, your question: what do you recommend on how to start greeting? Or you don't need to start greeting while you're giving advice. Rajiv, it is not really necessary to start with a greeting, but when you're talking about giving advice, you can just make a short introduction that, hey, you can read the pretext available. It depends on the task to task. So if there is some pretext available which says that a man is talking, and give him advice of how to start preparing for Celpip, then you can just begin a greeting. Hey, I know you're preparing for Celpip, and it's great that you can do this, and then start your main ideas, and spend more time, Rajiv, on giving advices than on greeting. So 1-2 seconds is cool, but keep your focus on providing at least three. Three is what I will advise you as a minimum number of task advices that you must give. If you have time, if you can manage it, and if you are in a position to manage it, please provide 4 or 5. There's no restriction to it, but at least provide 3. Whenever it comes to experiences sharing, giving advices, a minimum 3 is what Paragon has taught us to tell the test takers. So. And your next question, Rajiv, in picture explanation, do you recommend to divide picture in 4 parts and then explain? Like, yes. So this is what I was trying to make you visualize, and I'll try to do that again. And after which, if you have any questions, I'll entertain, else we'll be ending the session. So in the picture advices, how I would advise you here is, so let's say divide your screen in 4 parts. You can start either with the left portion or the right portion, it does not matter. But make connected choices. So if you're choosing the left hand side, ensure you're transitioning to this side, and then moving down, and then going forward. And if you're starting from below, just ensure you. So the direction does not really matter. This is what I'm trying to tell you, Rajiv. The direction is not important. What is important is how you're transitioning and how you are connecting that. So if I just close my eyes and I listen to you, whether I will be able to visualize the image that you're explaining to me is what counts for Celpip, for Paragon. So just keep it in mind. This can require practice for some people. Otherwise, I personally feel that this is easier. Where when it comes to video, it is more difficult because the number of aspects in videos are huge. So I wasn't able to cover a lot about videos in this. I have made specific slides. Maybe I'll share in the WhatsApp group, or I'll create a video around it. Not too sure, but I will be providing you some tips that I have gathered over preparing myself and while teaching ESL to different test takers across the world. So that's about it, people. I'm glad that you all joined, and I hope sorry about the little problems that I was having on technicalities. I am not a technical person at all, but I'm trying to evolve, learn something new, help out a larger audience, and I will try to ensure that this can be better in the next one. Okay, so we have one more question. I'll take that before ending it. Spring, for advice, will it be better to have 3 advices with detailed explanation? Yes, Spring, absolutely. This is a very important point, as I explained it just to Rajiv. Please keep it in mind, Spring, that provide minimum of 3 advices. Even if it is 2, it is not that you will get less marks, but keep it 3, because most of the test evaluators for your for your examination are keeping this in mind. There are 9 major parameters on which your speaking is judged. So just ensure that you're providing enough detailed information on the task that you're covering, instead of providing, let's say, 6 advices. So just keep 3 advices. If you have time, keep it 4. If you really have more time, keep it 5. It does not matter. Number does not matter. Descriptions do matter. So when you're explaining a picture as well, just ensure that you're describing it in a better way that the person who's listening is able to visualize. Keep this in mind. Visualization is important. Okay, so Rosedeep, in comparing and persuading, do I need to cover all points which are on the screen? No, it is not necessary to cover all the points, but you can speak on 2-3 points as well. You can think of new points as well, Rosedeep. It is not necessary that you use only the ones which are mentioned. You can be innovative here. You can think whether it's comparing living in an off-grid life to a city life. So if there are 6 points mentioned, you can come up with the 7th one as well. It wouldn't count. Um, and okay, so I will be stopping with this stream now. Thank you again, everybody. I hope this was helpful for the people who were here, and the recordings of this would be available. There is a link to WhatsApp group for people who are new. Click and join. And to summarize this whole stuff again, please ensure that for speaking overview, you record your voice, you translate your voice to text, read it, do self-evaluation, do evaluation with your friends. If you need professional help, reach out to whoever you can. If I can add any value, I will be available. So thank you again for your time. Thank you, Bhupi. Thank you, Rajan. Thank you, Spring. Thank you, Rosedeep, and the others who were here. I appreciate your time, and I'm happy that I was able to help you in some way. Have a good time. Stay